Friday, September 16th, 2016. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. It's around midday London time or 7 a.m. New York. The major news overnight concerning the markets is that the DOJ, or Department of Justice in the US, is slapped a $14 billion fine on Deutsche Bank to settle a case against the bank related to mortgage-backed securities trading. So the Deutsche Bank stock this morning is trading at 12 euros and 4 cents. That's down about a euro, or down 8%. The low has been 11.80. We are near the lows of the year. There has been, of course, a lot of talk about Deutsche Bank for the last 12 months, how much they have as an exposure to derivatives. The number is around $75 trillion. The difficult thing about ascertaining derivatives exposure by the major investment banks in the world, not just in Europe, is that these derivatives, be they over-the-counter derivatives, which are tailored derivatives, or exchange-traded derivatives, which are standardized, all these positions and exposures are kept off balance sheet, which is quite amazing, isn't it? The estimate of derivatives by the BIS, or Bank for International Settlements, is 700 trillion. But they did change the accounting right after the great financial crisis of '08. I would say it's a lot more. It's more like over 1,000 trillion, which means over 1,000 quadrillion. So Deutsche Bank, with that kind of exposure, is going to be probably worried about things. We'll have to see what kind of negotiations the Deutsche Bank and the DOJ will have compared to other fines by or settlements of the DOJ regarding mortgage-backed securities. JP Morgan, they were fined $2 billion by the DOJ. Well, the settlement was $2 billion. Citibank, $4 billion. Bank of America was the biggest with $5 billion. So $14 billion does sound a bit exaggerated. Interesting, that this has come out here around this time of the year, with people talking about, the end of September, beginning of October, market crashes. I'm not saying this is going to trigger anything, but this is not just the European banks that are being hit hard, because this could lead to a domino effect even for American banks. Because the reason why we had the great financial crisis in '08 is that Lehman went under. No one took over Lehman, and that broke the daisy chain of all the derivatives contracts, and thereby triggering the great counterparty risk problem. Because that's the thing with derivatives. You might put a bet on against another counterparty, and that bet might be going really well, but if that counterparty goes under, you've lost out as well. The reason why Bear Stearns didn't cause a daisy chain is because Bear Stearns was taken over by JP Morgan. They actually bought them out, didn't let them actually collapse. And then the Federal Reserve Bank of New York actually took over a lot of the toxic stuff, or toxic securities or derivatives from Bear Stearns that JP Morgan took over. And they created a fund called Maiden Lane Fund, which is still in the books of the New York Federal Reserve. No one really knows what's in that. But that's the crap from Bear Stearns. But when Lehman collapsed, no one took over them. So it triggered it's like a nuclear explosion in the system. And that's why they had to bail out the system. So with Deutsche Bank, it could have the same effect. Deutsche Bank being a huge derivatives player, much bigger than Lehman, we need to keep an eye on this. So this morning, right now, after a big gains yesterday in the stock market, where weak U.S. numbers actually helped the stock market higher, because I guess it's convincing people the Fed won't do anything. The Dow yesterday was up almost 1%. It was up 177 points. Today we are down about 80 points. We've been down about 100 points in the Dow. S&P down 10 points. So we're down 0.5%. So we are seeing a lot more up and down activity, volatility in the markets. Deutsche Bank, all the other European banks as well, RBS from the UK, that's down 5%. That's quite a big hit. Barclays is down 3%. So currency-wise, the euro is down 0.25%. The pound is down 0.5% against the dollar. So the dollar is doing a bit stronger. The treasuries have actually firmed up. So the yields are pretty much where we were at the end of last week, 1 basis point lower. So the bond market is stabilizing a little bit. I have made a few videos lately in the last week or so about how stocks and bonds are moving together, but at the moment bonds have gotten a little bit of a bid. So what do I think about the Deutsche Bank story? Well, we'll have to wait and see how it evolves, but it just seems strange that it's come out now. Maybe it's a political thing. The DOJ wants to show the EU, if you're going to do this to Apple, we can do this to your banks or companies. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's, there are people who talk about how it will be the derivatives meltdown that will bring down the system. I'm not saying this is what the U.S. administration wants, that they're doing this just to trigger some kind of financial meltdown. Who knows? But as I speak here, Deutsche Bank still down €1. Gold is pretty frustrating. It's 13.1250, down $2. The high has been 13.18 today, and 13.11 has been the low. Silver traded up to 1904. It's now 1890. The feeling with gold and silver right now is that they're just being kept down no matter what happens. We saw yesterday we had very bad economic numbers in the States. Retail sales are low. And people don't expect, there's only about a 30 to 25% chance of the Fed hiking next week. So the stock market goes up, on bad numbers because people don't expect the Fed to hike. So why doesn't gold go up? It just feels to me that the powers that be, the people who control the gold market or manage the price, they're trying to keep it suppressed until next week on the 21st, when the Fed will probably not do anything, not hike rates, and then gold will go up. And instead of going up to 1400 or 1450, will probably only go up to the recent highs around 1350 and 1370. So that's how they keep it under control. What else? That's it for now. So we'll have to see if this Deutsche Bank story evolves. It could be, something serious, or it could not. It could be just a, storm in a teacup. So if you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I also appreciate all the donations I get through Bitcoin, PayPal, or Patreon. Its instructions on how to donate are below in the description section of the video. Take care. Bye.